Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Veysel Dokur, and I'm a member of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Lakeland. Our mask policy here at UUCL is that we ask you wear your mask and remain socially distanced throughout the service and when inside our facilities, unless you are here speaking to microphone. If you sing, we ask that you sing softly or hum with your mask on. Once you're outside, you may remove your mask. Also, please turn off your cell phones, put them on Do Not Disturb, vibrate for the service. And if you could also disconnect them from the Wi-Fi, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Our technical team is queuing the bridge video. Thank you for your patience with us. If you had watched this before, you know how beautifully they're singing, but just give us a little bit time. We'll sort out the technical issues. And while waiting, I would like to say thank you to our greeters and ushers, Glenda Littledale and Mary St. Dennis. And also we have Kano Hicks here with us. He gracefully accepted to light the chalice for us today. Thank you, all of you, for your service and being here.
Listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. 'Tis the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. 'Tis the ancestors' breath in the voice of the waters. Those who have died have never, ever left. The dead are not under the earth. They are in the rustling trees. They are in the roaming woods. They are in the crying grass. They are in the moaning rocks. The dead are not under the earth. So listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. 'Tis the ancestors' 'tis the ancestors' breath in the voice of the waters.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And we all miss our, choir here live listening, and it's going to happen also. But thank you, our choir members and singers. A poem by Hazreti Mevlana Celaleddin Rumi, The Guest House. This human being is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected guest. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door, laughing, and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from the beyond. Celaleddin Rumi lived early 1300. He's a Persian theologist, poet, and a lot of other things, and you may have read his stuff as part of the Sufism. This translation was made by Coleman Barks. It's great to see you all here. Welcome to the virtual and in-person worship service of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Lakeland. My name is Veysel Dokur, and I'm a proud member of this congregation, and I'm the worship associate for today. I use the pronouns he, his. If you are joining for the first time, or if you've been visiting for a while and have any questions, would like to receive our weekly email newsletter, or would like to find out how you can get involved in our congregation, please reach out to me after the service, or I am Brandon Knuckles through the chat feature in the Zoom. We are glad you're here. UUCL is a thriving community, and whatever your gender identity, sexual orientation, race, ethnicity, abilities, or theological beliefs, you are welcome here. Thank you so much for joining us today as we gather ourselves focusing on what is important for us. And it's a joy to be able to do this transition together as one community of faith, honoring our shared values of love, connection, and transformation. Let us make this space sacred by lighting our chalice. Kino, please. Thank you. To face the world's darkness. This is from Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Harrison, Virginia. To face the world's darkness, a chalice of light. To face the world's coldness, a chalice of warmth. To face the world's terrors, a chalice of courage. To face the world's turmoil, a chalice of peace. May its glow fill our spirits, our hearts, and our lives. friends. Going through this pandemic show that we really need each other. We're not meant to be disconnected. We can feel that now more than forever. Here at UUCL, our shared values are love and connection, and together those leads to transformation. By staying strong to these values, we are transforming ourselves, the community, and the world around us in so many ways. In order to sustain this, we ask that you pledge your time, your talent, and treasure. Please take a moment when you're able to write a check to UUCL or to make a donation through PayPal link, which can be found in the chat. If you're interested in volunteering or have a special talent that you would like to add to our worship or programming, please let me or Brandon know to the chat feature after the service or email. Thank you all so much for continuing to be part of this caring community.
Good morning, everyone. I am honored to be here. I'm honored to be among you, and I'm honored to be part of this beautiful facility and humbled by your presence. My name is Andy Quinn. I'm the founder and guiding teacher for Lakeland Mediation Group. There are a number of us that teach, and I'm one of them. Today, we're going to be practicing one of 4 types of loving kindness meditation. The loving kindness meditations are loving kindness, compassion, appreciative joy, and also equanimity. All of these practices lead us to our true nature, which is to be connected and to be one of all beings, one with all beings. Today the practice is joy, or it's called appreciative joy. And what is this appreciative joy? Joy for others and joys for the qualities and their accomplishments. Joy for their morality, joy for their generosity, and joy for their efforts to walk along the path of liberation from suffering. Joy is about gladdening our heart, which is a fundamental resource of our life. This can be an empathetic resonance with another. In our day-to-day life, we can activate joy by being mindful of small, spontaneous arisings of joy. Then we practice lingering in this joy to make it a more connective, consistent experience. For example, people laughing, the wind on my skin, the smell of the orange orchard, open the door for somebody, being honest when it's painful. Today, our country, we are exposed to enough turbulence, and with that comes frustration, anxiety, and sadness. There's too much busy, too much feeling disconnected and lonely. Where compassion practices can begin to become heavy, we balance compassion with loving kindness and joy practices. Appreciative joy is an antidote for overcoming jealousy, envy, disconnection, and boredom. Whenever we feel like we don't have enough or we are not enough, or we find ourselves comparing to other people, comparing ourselves to other living things, humans, we can practice appreciative joy. So today we're going to do a guided meditation and some instructions before we start. Understand that in meditation practice you can't go wrong. One may think they're supposed to have a strong feeling of some particular type of experience. This may happen, this may not happen. Appreciative joy meditation is about training the mind to be consistently in a healthy intention of joy for others, for joy for ourselves. Some people may have a challenge with this type of meditation. The instructions are to keep on coming back to the particular mantra that you're going to be exposed to. Just keep on coming back to the intention of bringing the mind into appreciation of other beings and yourself. So there are going to be 3 phrases. If we had more time, each of you would construct your own phrase, your own appreciative joy phrase. But these are phrases that you see are rather standard. But we know how words can get in the way. So to this is what you'll get exposed to today, these 3 phrases. And the 3 phrases are, I delight in your happiness. I appreciate your efforts. And what are the efforts? Efforts at morality, efforts at generosity, efforts along walking the path of liberation away from suffering. And then the last one is, I'm grateful that you exist. So the guided meditation will go like this. There'll be 1 or 2 minutes of grounding the mind. This is called mindfulness of breathing meditation. The particular method that I would like for you to practice with and experience is breathing into the whole body, breathing into the upper part of the torso. Sometimes you may notice the breath coming in, sometimes you may not. Sometimes you can even imagine the breath coming into the upper part of the torso. So we'll practice that as a couple of minutes, and the reason that we're doing that is to stabilize the mind. Also, these meditations are heart meditations. In fact, all Buddhist-style meditations are heart meditations. So we're trying to activate the heart. So 1 or 2 minutes in the body, and then you'll hear 1 or 2 minutes of bringing to mind some imagery of something that may be joyful for you. And then after that, there'll be 1 or 2 minutes of activating an image of somebody in your life who exudes joy. So what we're trying to do is activate joy in the heart, and then we're going to start using these mantras. And I'll say the mantras and just keep to yourself and just let things resonate. And just again, this is about intention, the intention to be joyful for others and for yourself. This meditation will last about 15 minutes, somewhere in there. And at the end of the guided meditation, you'll hear a bell that will ring, noting the end of the meditation period. So, if you would like to take a firm posture, a posture that is relaxed but also alert, and gently closing your eyes. All of these practice, very important intention is to be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Appreciating the life that's here. Appreciate the life that's here. Notice the pressure of your body against the chair. Notice the pressure against the earth, this precious earth. This earth that sustains us and gives us so much joy. And now attend to the breathing. And just allow the body to breathe. Just allow the body to breathe. The breath that sustains us, this breath that sustains us. The breath that knows itself. This breath that nourishes. This breath that we all share. The mind wanders, the mind's conditioned to wander. No judging in that. Bring yourself back to attention on the breath. The more that you're able to keep the attention on this body breathing, more that you keep coming back when you get distracted, the more that this practice will stabilize the mind. The more that we stabilize the mind, the more able we're going to be to activate joy. And as you're breathing, see if you keep your attention now in the area just beneath the sternum, this heart center of the body, mind. It's almost like the breath can be used as blowing on a fire, this warmth of our hearts, like we're blowing on embers. And now bring to mind a recent moment that you were struck by feelings of joy. Perhaps a warm connection, a sense of gratitude, a moment of generosity. The warmth of the sun coming from behind a cloud. The colors of a beautiful flower. The melodic sound of a bird, softness of the wind against your skin, the sound of the beach at the surf, a smiling person while shopping, images of children playing, dogs bounding, mountain streams bubbling. Just bring to some image that activates some feeling of buoyancy, lightness, or even personal moments of contentment or ease, moments of serenity, moments of peace. And linger with this joy. Just keep feeding this joy. Just linger with it. And now let's switch the imagery to a person in your life who exudes joy. The image may be of them smiling at you, or them laughing, or giving you a hug. Just some imagery of a person in your life that exudes joy. Allow this image to percolate. The mind wanders. Be gentle with yourself. Come back to holding this image in your heart. now with this image, we're going to have appreciative joy for this important person in your life. And when you start practicing by yourself in a few more minutes, I would pick one of these phrases. I delight in your happiness. With a warm heart, I appreciate your efforts. The mind wanders, no problem. Be gentle with yourself. And gently come back to this warm heart and intention. I delight in your happiness. I appreciate your efforts. I am grateful that you exist. Tension around the heart. Image of a person who exudes joy. I delight in my happiness. I appreciate my efforts. I am grateful that I exist. And now for people, friends, and community, the people in this congregation. I delight in your happiness. I appreciate your efforts. I am grateful that you exist. This guided meditation is going to end in about 3 minutes, and we'll do a couple more rounds. And let's try this one. Somebody that you're slightly appreciative joy for this person. Could be even you comparing mind or thinking that when you're around them that you're not enough. Something like that. I delight in your happiness. I appreciate your efforts. I am grateful that you exist. And one last round before the bell rings. Back to yourself again. Back to yourself one more time. I delight in my happiness. This warmth, this warm heart that we all have. I appreciate my efforts. I am grateful that I exist.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be whole. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease.
Once again, Andy is the founder and the guiding teacher of Lakeland Insight Meditation Group. And if you would like additional information, you can find out at www.limg.org. Thank you. For the closing words, we have a video, short video by, again, Hazreti Mevlana Jalaluddin Rumi. All right. So there's been a little adjustment. For the closing verse, I'll be reading another short poem, which is again attributed to Hazreti Mevlana Jalaluddin Rumi, but also there is questions that it might be actually written by another poet, maybe a century or so later, but that's out of the scope now. The words are, come whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of living, it doesn't matter. Ours is not a caravan of despair. Come, even if you have broken your vows 1,000 times. Come, yet again, come. These lyrics are also used for hymn number 188 in the UU hymnal, Singing the Living Tradition book. However, over there is a phrase, a key phrase that's been omitted. And I need to roll back. I forgot to issue the credit. These things that I'm reading, that I'm about to read, actually were written back in 2017 by Christiana McQuinn from Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Gwinnett in Georgia. Again, these were written in 2017 by Christiana. In transmuting this poem into the lyric of a hymn, number 188 in the UU hymnal, Singing the Living Tradition, one key phrase has been omitted. It is this missing concept upon which I wish to focus this morning. That's her speaking again. Come, even if you have broken your vows 1,000 times. It's apparent that Rumi's verse intentionally welcomed the stranger, regardless of their imperfection. I would like to invite you to consider a meaning even broader than that. What if we are welcoming both the friend and the stranger, regardless of our own imperfection? Our vision statements are declarations of what we strive to be. That we often ourselves fall short of these ideals is almost the point. It is in the continual striving that we live into our covenant with ourselves and with each other. It is in the implied acknowledgement of imperfection. Imperfection. I keep repeating it, but this is again from me. Imperfection. I had to practice it. I need to practice more, so I'm going to continue reading. That we find our calling to remain ever vigilant in putting forth the effort to achieve, if not the perfection, then at the very least our somewhat lofty professed ideals. Justice, equality, I'll open a parenthesis there now, equity, freedom, peace. We admit our failings and we recommit our whole selves to finding and implementing solutions which draw us closer to creating systems which embody these ideals. I am imperfect. You are imperfect. Our shared community is imperfect. Not only are we imperfect, we have broken our vows. Acknowledging our imperfection is not enough. we must address the roots of our inadequacy, honestly face our failure to serve all those we have claimed to represent and that which we have claimed to support. And we need everyone tending the garden of this truth. Only then we can transform the fruit it bears. Come, come, whoever you are. Though we have broken our vows 1,000 times, we still welcome you to become or to remain part of our open-hearted, admittedly imperfect community which actively strives to live up to our promises. There is much work to be done. Come, yet again, come. Christiana. I've been reading this a few times since last night, so every time I get a different meaning of it, so thank you for listening to me. Now, please extinguish the chalice with me and Kino. Thank you, Kino, for coming today. I really appreciate it. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of love, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world. Thank you, Kino. Thank you, everybody, for coming and sharing. Before we announce call to community, I want to share a sorrow with you all. Our church family member, Karen Dutry, has experienced a loss. Karen's longtime partner and friend, Ben, passed away yesterday after a long illness. Karen has been a member of this church community for several years and a valued member of the Sunday support group, Sunday Seekers. Our hearts go out to Karen in this loss. Please keep her and Ben in your thoughts, in your prayers. Thank you. Now we come to our call to community. Our worship committee, to fulfill its purpose, asks you to answer 2 questions in a survey. I don't know if the forms were put over there or will be distributed. It was also in the newsletter. There is a link. You can answer those 2 questions online. Please take a few minutes to answer that survey. We really appreciate it. Today, the Board of Trustees will meet at 1 p.m. in person here, Sanctuary, and or Zoom. Same link as this service. And I believe everyone is welcome to listen in. Monday, Women's Group meets at 10 a.m. Zoom link is in the newsletter. Tuesday, Coffee Clutch, 10 a.m. in person or Sanctuary Patio. That one I want to make, and one day I'll be there. Wednesday, choir practice, 5 p.m. again in person or Zoom. Link is in the newsletter. Thursday, creative and production team meeting, 6:30. Zoom link in the newsletter. So this is repeating over and over. Please read the newsletter. Please read the newsletter. Friday, fire circle at 7 p.m. weather permitting at the fire pit and or Zoom. Link in the newsletter. And Social Justice Committee meeting is on 3rd Sunday following the service, which is next Sunday. And last and least, remember board meeting after service, 1 p.m. here on Zoom. Thank you and go in peace. Thank you for coming.